Hello, Edinburgh. How you doing? Hell yeah. How you doing? Hi, it's good to be here. Thanks so much for coming out. Some good news in my life. I just got married. How about that? Just got married. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. I like being married. We're a team now. You know what I mean? When you're married, you're a team. You're a unit. You're a single entity, you know? Whenever I go anywhere without my wife, the first thing anyone says is, "Where's Leah?" People used to be like, "Sean's here." Now they're like, "Where's Leah?" I asked her, I was like, "Isn't it annoying how whenever you go anywhere without me, everyone's like, 'Where's Sean?'" And she was like, "Oh, that doesn't happen to me." That's fun. No, I like it. It's good. It's fun. It's a fun way to find out your people's least favorite. I like being married. I do. People ask me if it's different. It's pretty much the same, honestly, except I wear a ring now. That's pretty much the only difference. I got a friend. He told me he doesn't even wear his ring, but he also told me that he and his wife are into fisting. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that, honestly. I don't know. Maybe that's how he lost his ring. I don't know. Or maybe he's like, "Why even wear a ring when you can wear your wife?" I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm still unpacking it, to be honest. My wife and I, we don't do any of that stuff. We're pretty conventional, you know? We've been together 8 years. Your sex life changes when you're with someone for that long, you know? It goes from hot, passionate lovemaking to two friends helping each other come. That's what it looks like. Doesn't sound like sex either. No. Sounds less like sex and more like we're trying to move a couch through a doorway. That's what it... To left, twist it. Almost there. I don't think this is gonna happen. I'm too drunk. We might need to bring in a third. We might need to get some extra hands in here. It's time. Spice it up. I don't miss being single at all. I never did that great as a single guy, you know, because I'm a short guy. And girls always go for tall guys because they're, you know, hot or whatever. Maybe they're hotter, but we're nicer. Short guys are nicer. You know, maybe we can't carry you to the bedroom and make you feel dominated, but we can carry a conversation and make you feel heard. Do you know what I mean? Doesn't that count for something? Come on. They say nice guys finish last. We finish first, but still, do you know what I mean? I think my wife would have more sex with me if she just walked in on me masturbating once. I think that's all it'd take, you know? If she just came in, she saw how I looked, she'd be like, "Well, no one should have to do this," you know? She just came in, I'm like hunched over the laptop screen, glow on my face in a dark room, concentrated, like furrowed brow, sweaty, belt around my neck, gerbil in my ass. You know what I mean? I think then she'd have more sex with me. Real quick, let's just talk about queefs, real quick. Just real quick. It happens. We're adults. We can talk about it, right? It happens. Here's the thing, like, sometimes women will get self-conscious or embarrassed, but, like, we don't care. Guys don't care. We're just happy to be there having sex, you know? It's just the sound of a thing going in another thing. It'd make the same noise if you put a wet foot in a rubber boot, okay? It's science, all right? I like queefs. I do. I like queefs. I do. I want them. I want you to get... I think queefs are a compliment. I do. In China, it's considered polite to burp after your meal. I think queefs are the same thing. I really do. I do. A queef is a vagina saying, "Oof, I am full. That was way too much dick for me. Way too much dick. Oof, stuffed. Really, I am." My compliments to the chef. Let's talk about something else. I guess kids are next. I think I'm ready for that. I'm 37. I feel ready to have kids in moments where I'm clinging to my youth, you know? Like whenever I do cocaine and it's 6 a.m. and I'm high out of my mind and I'm watching the sunrise with people I don't even know. That's when I'm like, I should really be starting a family, you know? I shouldn't be doing coke off some stranger's dirty keys. I should be at home doing it off my wife's pregnant stomach, you know? I think... It's time to domesticate my drug use, is what I'm saying. I'm from LA, born and raised, but I live in the woods now. I live in the woods. Any questions? I live in the woods. My wife and I, during the pandemic, we moved a few hours outside of LA to a place called Crestline, and it's great. I love living in the woods. It's so nice. It's such a welcome change compared to life in LA. Because, like, up in the woods, you'll meet dogs that don't have Instagram accounts, and that's nice. You know what I mean? To just meet a dog that doesn't have an online presence. It's really nice. It's weird, though. It's an hour and a half from L.A., but it's pretty hillbilly up there. It's a lot of rednecks, tons of rednecks. Do you have rednecks? People with dirt bikes and Mountain Dew tattoos, you know what I'm talking about? I feel like it's universal. Anyway, this is how redneck it is. This is a real thing that happened. One time I was at a bar that closed early because a guy got in a fist fight with his mom. Is that not the most redneck shit you've ever... First of all, the guy went to a bar with his mom. Then they got in a fist fight. Then they closed the bar, which, that says how bad it was. You know what I mean? Like, because this bar is a shithole. It's a total dive. Like, if I'm being honest, it looks like the kind of place you would go to fight your mom. It really does. Like, and it's a small town, too, and everyone knows the sheriff. So when the fight broke out, instead of saying, someone call the cops, they were like, someone text Gary. And Gary showed up. It's a small town. There's no rideshare services either. There's just this woman named Linda, and you have to have her number so she can come and pick you up. You all have Uber and Lyft. We got Linda, okay? Yeah. There's 2 ways home from that bar. Linda or Gary. You decide, you know? That's how it's going down. So, you know, it's a little redneck, but it's beautiful. It's redneck, but it's beautiful. There's a valley with a lake and trees. The locals call Crestline the Switzerland of California, but yeah. I don't know. There's just no way there's as much meth in Switzerland. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's 2 things to do in Crestline. You can go to the lake or you can smoke meth. And you are wrong if you think people go to the lake. They don't do that there. They don't do it. Just the meth for them. No, but it's good. It's just, you know, we just don't have that much in common with a lot of people there, which leads to some interesting conversations. Like I was at this bar, same bar, there's only one bar, and I met this guy from Crestline. He told me he was a carpenter from Crestline. I told him I was a comic from LA, and we just sat there. And we talked about how, isn't it cool that there's lesbians? You know, just in the world, you know, just that they exist. That was the only common ground we could find. He was like, because most women like men, but then some of them like each other. And I was like, yep. And he was like, isn't that neat? And I was like, uh-huh. And he was like, it's crazy how they're harvesting children at the border for Satanist pedophiles. I was like, let's just stick to lesbians. How about that? Just feel safe. That's how, like, not progressive it is up there. You know, there's some people who are still digesting the basic information that people are gay, which is, like, again, a big change from LA, because, like, there's so many gay people in LA. Everyone's gay in LA. It's, like, the norm. It really is. Like, I have a friend who dated men for years, and now he dates women exclusively. So he was gay, and he came out as straight, and everyone was like, wow, that is so brave. We're with you on this journey. There's people up there who think you can pray the gay away, which is like, come on, that's ridiculous. You can't pray the gay away. Everyone knows the way you get the gay out is to have a man suck it from your penis, okay? These 2, you know? Here's the thing, like, convincing my wife to marry me and move to the woods, it's my greatest accomplishment. It really is. I don't know how I did it. Like, I don't know how I did it, because my wife is, like, so much better than me in so many ways. Like, first of all, she's way out of my league. She's so hot that people think I work in tech. Do you know what I mean? And she's in her prime, too, you know? She's so hot and young that she could be doing so many other things. Like, she could go, like, fuck a Laker or break up a band. But instead, she's in the woods with me, like, holding a ladder steady while I hang up a birdhouse and, like, taking pictures of my bald spot to make sure my hair loss medication's working. Like, I feel bad for her. Like, women talk about trapping men. I trapped her. And my wife is obsessed with captivity stories. She loves, like, podcasts and documentaries about women who've been kidnapped and held in captivity. She's like, oh my God, I'm so obsessed with captivity stories. I don't know why. I'm like, it's 'cause you're in one. Our marriage is your captivity story. Maybe I'm not keeping you in our basement, but I am keeping you 50 miles from better options, okay? So it's good. I did it. I have anxiety. It's interesting. My wife struggles with depression, and I struggle with anxiety, so she's always sad about the past, and I'm always anxious about the future, you know? She's like, I don't know, it just feels like our best days are behind us. I'm like, no, our worst days are ahead of us, okay? She's like, I just want to go back to the beginning. I'm like, really? I just want to skip to the end. Can we just... We're a good team, like I said. You know, she lives in the past, I live in the future, and together we ruin the present. It's nice. It's good. Works for us. It does. I read that, it's not all bad having anxiety. I read this. There was a study that said that stress burns calories. Isn't that crazy? That stress and anxiety actually burns calories in your body, which, if that's true, I'm just going to cancel my gym membership and spend more time with my mother. I think she gives me plenty to worry about. Oh, yeah, she's full of them. The other day, I saw her in the first 5 minutes, she told me that LA's almost out of water, that Alzheimer's runs in our family, that I should be saving up to put her in a nursing home, and that she's in a lot of debt, but the kind that can be inherited. So, do you feel that? My metabolism's on fire right now. Mostly because I can never put her in a nursing home. My grandma's in a nursing home, and poof, it is depressing. I love my grandma. I do not love that place. I went to visit her recently, and I was visiting with my grandma, and I asked her what she did that day. And she said, we had activity day. And I said, what did you do for activity day? She said, we played Pass the Balloon. I said, what is Pass the Balloon? She said, it's a game where we all sit in a circle, and we pass a balloon. Everybody live your lives, you know what I mean? Let's make this count, you know? Like, enjoy yourselves, that's all I'm saying. Enjoy life, okay? Take a hit when someone passes you a joint, because, one day it will be a balloon. I promise you, it will be. I've seen it. And the people that work at this facility are, like, totally out to lunch. They're not that great. Like, the whole time I was visiting my grandma, there was a guy down the hall who just yelled help the whole time. He was like, help! 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 I went to a nurse, I was like, excuse me, there's a guy screaming for help, and she was like, oh, he's fine. Good, because for a second there I thought maybe he needed help. But no, that's so glad my grandma's in your care. And, like, her living environment isn't that great either. Like, my grandma's roommate has the bed by the window, and she keeps the blinds closed the whole time, so the room's all dark and depressing. I think the most upsetting part about that is that we get roommates again. What? Did you know that we get them again at the end? Isn't that... It's one thing having roommates in your 20s, or even your 30s or 40s, but your 90s, But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you get to a certain age, having a roommate doesn't matter. Maybe, because my grandma's roommate, Laura, passed away recently, and I called her up, and I was like, I'm so sorry to hear about Laura. And she goes, who's Laura? Well, nobody now, sadly, but she was your roommate for 4 years. I'm really surprised you two never got a chance to meet. She was like, I have a new roommate now. I'm like, I know, I can hear him. I'm guessing no one's helped him yet? Good God. This place is a nightmare. Oh, man. Well, they did this study on squirting. Believe it or not, it's a real thing. They did this study on squirting. I read the article. It said, scientists can't confirm that squirting is pee, but they can confirm that when a woman squirts, her bladder empties and the fluid is chemically identical to urine. How's that so confusing? Why? Like, they say it's not pee, and then they go on to describe pee. Like, I'm not a scientist, but I feel like we could get to the bottom of this with one asparagus. I feel like that's all we need. You guys are awesome. You got it so good here, Edinburgh. America's just a mess right now. I mean, we do not want to go back home. There's some good things about America. There's a few, though. Like, okay, I went to return this fan that I got at Target. And just go with me here. I went to return this. I'm going somewhere. I went to return a fan I got at Target, and the guy was like, do you have your receipt? And I was like, no. And he was like, is it still working? And I was like, no. And he was like, do you have the box it came in? And I was like, no. And then I got my return. I got my money back, and everything was fine. Say what you want about America, but our return policies are awesome. IKEA gives you 90 days. You could redecorate every 3 months if you wanted to. Amazon's the best. You can return anything on Amazon. You just gotta pick a reason, and some of the reasons are ordered by mistake, product damaged, and no longer needed. Anything is no longer needed after you use it. What? You do that with books, Christmas trees, fleshlights. My point is, here's here's the thing. You can do it with anything. My point is, in America, our return policies are amazing because as long as you're spending money, companies treat you like royalty. We have more rights as consumers than we do as people, you know? That's America right there. Easy to make returns, hard to get abortions. That's what we do, you know? Which doesn't make any sense because isn't an abortion just a return? Are you just returning a baby to God, you know? No longer needed. You know what I mean? Isn't it? You could use the same reasons. Ordered by mistake. It's the same thing. Product damaged. You know what I mean? Incest. You get the point, right? It's... All right. You should at least get the first trimester. That's 90 days. IKEA gives you that. You know what I mean? Like... Thanks so much, everybody. You've been so